Hi everyone, Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd, and it's time for another great album segment where I go over a bunch of records that have dropped over the past month or so, and they're ones that I loved, ones that I thought were great, ones that I thought were worth your attention, and I don't want them to slip through the cracks on you, so I point just your eyes to them one more time, just to say, hey, make sure you hear this, because I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, like the new one from Metallica.
Huh? There's a new album from Metallica?
Right here, buddy. Check 'em out. Brand new from Metallica. That's the new one.
Those are socks.
Could have fooled me. Can you review them anyway?
Well, good colors, nice Master of Puppets embroidery. They look like they're made of good material. I wish I had a pair.
Bet you already do.
Ride the lightning!
And Wu-Tang sax. And Kid Cudi sax. Stance.com.
Is that where I get sock?
Yes.
Yes. Shh. Don't tell anyone, but there's a 10% off link in the description box, too. Well, anyway, let's get into some of these other records over here. First off, want to give a shout out to the new Clipping album, There Existed an Addiction to Blood. God, this is such a good horrorcore album. It is a horrorcore album. It is a hip-hop record about horrifying things like monsters and death and blood and guts and stuff, but the production and the storytelling is very much inspired less by horrorcore traditionally as a genre up until this point, and more inspired by horror films, horror cinema, which I think leads to this album being a pretty cool and unique experience. One of Clipping's coolest concepts so far. The production is heavy, noisy, industrial, for the most part very texture-rich. And a lot of the stories are compelling and eerie and creepy. It's a very freaky little record, and good on Clipping for staying creative and staying cutting edge. Next, the new Caroline Polachek record. Think of this album as like the art pop equivalent to the new Charlie XCX record, still embracing a lot of these futuristic and very PC music aesthetics in the realm of pop, but going in a much headier, more cerebral, art pop, artsier direction with it, and I like it. I like it a lot. Really great production, great tunes, great vocal performances, tasteful all around. One of the most lovely listens I've had this year. Next, also want to shout out the new Lightning Bolt record. Great noise rock album, just melting my brain. The Lightning Bolt embrace some poppier, catchier, sweeter modes of rock music on this one, some hookier tracks, some more melodic lead vocals, some steadier bass work, so it's not as frantic and it's not as abrasive as a lot of their earlier stuff, though I still think it sounds very much like a Lightning Bolt record. There are still some true bangers in the track list here too, and all around I think it's a quality project, their best one in a while. Next, Anna Frango Elétrico, Little Electric Chicken Heart is the name of her latest full-length LP, and if you want to hear a short, fun, bubbly album of jazz, pop, samba, some chamber pop, though I already said pop, but still, all of that coming together into a mix of instrumentation that sounds like a bunch of Brazilian art school kids from the 70s are playing it. Give it a listen. It's fun as hell. Shout out to Danny Brown for You Know What I'm Saying. Great record. Fantastic record from Danny. Not as long and not as ambitious as a lot of his previous stuff, but still a lot of worthwhile songs on here, a lot of bangers, a lot of great bars. Danny essentially finding himself in a place where he's like attained modern vet status and really kind of coasting on that classic Danny Brown energy over some really good production. So check it out. Don't miss it. Also, my boy Richard Dawson, UK-based singer and songwriter, comes through with effectively a sequel to his Peasant album a couple of years ago. A lot of parallels between this record and his previous one. It pretty much seems like he's telling a lot of the same sad, concerning societal critique-based stories, but instead he's now telling it to us from a much more modern perspective, with this record being titled 2020, actually 2020 a little into the future. So there is something that is slightly dystopian about this record, basically telling us a tale of the hell that modern society and the people in it are going to be living in very soon. Playing is great, tunes are great, energy is great, love the rough lo-fi production, love the versatile instrumentals, also just love the concept of this thing through and through. 2020. Richard Dawson, amazing record. And finally, an album that, you know, I have caught a lot of backlash on, and that's fine. Not everyone is going to like everything that I like. But the new Hobo Johnson record, The Fall of Hobo Johnson, I think is a really good mix of hip-hop and pop and punk and folk. I think Hobo Johnson tells a lot of relatable stories on this record about loneliness and love, really a range of very upsetting emotional issues. I think it's mostly his vocals and his lyricism and his delivery that turns people off of the honesty and the authenticity behind a lot of what he does, but still, it's not for everybody. It's really, truly not for everybody. But hey, you know, if you're liking it, I'm liking it, we're enjoying it together, Hobo Johnson, yeah. So that has been it for this episode. Thank you very much. Hopefully you got some good recommendations out of this vid. One more shout out to our sponsor for this video, Stance.com, cool socks. And Transition, have you given these albums a listen? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What would you rate it? You're the best, you're the best. What should I review next? Hit the like if you like. Please subscribe and please don't cry. Hit the bell as well. Over here next to my head is another video for you to check out. Hit that up or the link to subscribe to the channel. Anthony Fantano, great albums, forever.